Hey, what's that going to be when you're through with it?
A toothpick. A real whittler doesn't whittle to make something, he just whittles.
Mr. Crackerby? I'm Mr. Worthington, Charles Worthington.
Merchants National Bank. You're the president, huh? Nice going.
Thank you. And this is Mr. Stokes.
How do you do?
Banker, too?
Mr. Stokes owns the Golden Sands Hotel, one of the most exclusive and best-run hotels here in Palm Beach.
This is my children's tutor, Mr. St. John Quincy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think I'll go see how the kids are doing with their tennis.
Now, Quincy, you stay here. These guys are too polite. Might need you.
Oh, delightful.
Mr. Crackerby, please, let's get to the point now.
Yeah, let's, because I'm behind in my whittling.
Mr. Crackerby, Mr. Stokes here wants to buy the Havenhurst...
Crackerby.
The Havenhurst Crackerby from you, and my bank is prepared to back him financially. Now, we hope to be able to give you exactly what you paid for it, plus a fair profit.
Oh, it would be a sensational deal.
Gentlemen, why are you so anxious to give me a sensational deal?
You see, Mr. Crackerby, for years, the Havenhurst
Crackerby.
has been a symbol of elegance, of grandeur. We feel that...
You feel that since I have bought the place, it is thereby turned into a flop house?
Oh, no offense. But,
yes.
You said it, I didn't. And that could be bad business for all of us.
Well, I'm glad you're not offending me.
Well, Mr. Crackerby, after all, you only bought this hotel out of sheer pique.
P-I-Q-U-E. He means you were sore.
I sure was. I was peaked as a boil. I like the way they were treating me.
But you didn't really want the hotel, and I can't see why you want to keep it. After all, you've made your point.
I learned one thing at Harvard, Mr. Crackerby. Always grab a profit. Besides, you wouldn't want to go down in history as the man who was responsible for the decline and fall of Palm Beach. There he goes.
Mr. Crackerby.
Mr. Worthington, Mr. Stokes.
Yeah, Chief.
Slim, me. Operation Good Riddance.
What property are we talking about?
Fella here wants to buy the lovely old Havenhurst.
Oh, the lovely old Havenhurst, huh? I got it right here. What's this fella's name?
A man by the name of Stokes. Yeah, he runs some kind of a hotel here, Snitsy Hotel called the Golden Sand.
Stokes, the Golden Sands, hmm?
Offered me a good price, too, yeah.
Well, there's no harm in making a little profit.
Well, that's what I thought, too, Slim.
Wait a minute, I'll check it out for you. All right, okay, we can handle that.
Now, look, hurry this up, Slim. When I do an Operation Good Riddance, I don't like to have it drag on.
Operation Good Riddance is in the works.
Oh, here you are. This won't take long. It's just a couple of minutes.
A couple of minutes. That's what I call action.
Yes, indeed.
Front desk. Yes, Mr. Stokes. For
It's
me?
for you. It's probably your broker.
Hello? Stokes speaking. Huh? Yes, my broker. Your people really are fast. Hello, Jim. What's the deal? What's the price?
What's he say?
Repeat that. Jim, it's a deal.
Well, now, wait just a minute, Mr. Stokes. This is the bank's money. You can't buy the Havenhurst without telling me the terms first.
I didn't buy the Havenhurst. I just sold the Golden Sands.
You what?
Mr. Crackerby. The Golden Sands Crackerby. I just couldn't turn down the price you gave me.
But Mr. Crackerby, you said... Well, I heard him. You said Operation Good Riddance.
Well, he got rid of me.
Mr. Crackerby, we came here prepared to... Well, I was positive that everyone was entirely in accordance with... Mr. Crackerby, now you've bought another hotel. Will you please tell me one thing? Why?
Sheer pique. The Golden Sands Crackerby. I like it. St. my boy, we're going to show these jokers if OK Crackerby is genteel enough to run the lovely old Havenhurst.
We are.
You better believe it. We're giving a big party, and this fella here is going to be the guest of honor.
Viscount Wellecliffe.
That's pronounced Viscount.
Is that right, Mr. Quincy?
What are you asking him for?
Just checking.
Junior, things are often pronounced differently than they're spelled. For instance, my name is St. John Quincy, S-T-J-O-H-N-Q-I-N-C-Y, and it's pronounced St. John Quincy.
Which I still think's pretty silly.
Which I still can't help.
Well, anyway, we're going to throw a big blowout for the Viscount.
Wow, Pop, I didn't know you knew such a big English lord.
Well, I don't really know him.
You don't?
No, but I know a lot about him. He's the director of a chain of English newspapers, and he owns a lot of big companies. No, he's a big businessman like me. Well, not quite like me.
Well, if you don't know him, then why a party?
Why not? I'm here all the way from Oklahoma, and he's here all the way from England. We're both strangers in town. I just thought it'd be neighborly.
It wouldn't be that you want to use him as some sort of social bait, would it?
Without bait, you can't fish. When I give this party for the Viscount, every high muckety-muck in Palm Beach society is going to be breaking his neck to get an invitation. People, we're going to bust through at last.
Well, just one silly question. Why would the Viscount come? I mean, if the man doesn't know you, why would he accept an invitation from you?
Hey, maybe Mr. Quincy's right, Papa.
Besides, Mr. Crackerby, besides the fact that it would be highly unethical and antisocial, there's also the tiny little fact that Viscount Wellecliffe may not stuff so easily. I mean, he's a pretty rich man, too, you know.
What kind of rich?
I've heard about 20 million pounds.
How much is that in our money?
Nothing.
50.
Yeah, okay.
Slim, me, Viscount Wellecliffe.
Just a minute. Yeah?
He's an English fella. Mines, newspapers, junk like that.
Yeah, also automobiles and airplanes.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think it'll take to put him away, Slim?
Well, the banks in London are closed right now. You want me to go right ahead?
No, I'm just checking. No hurry. Just checking.
Well, it's going to take a little more time than the average for this size fella.
Okay, Slim. Slim figures we can sink this dude in a little less than a day. Find out where he lives and call him up.
Oh, Mr. Crackerby, there should be a written invitation.
All right, you write him a letter and tell him OK Crackerby is giving a party a week from Saturday night and wants him to come to put on the feed bag.
Well, sir, do you mind if I word it my way?
Say it any way you like, St. John, only make sure that he's there.
Dear Viscount Wellecliffe, if I were you, like I'd get out of town, baby. Signed a friend.
Have the party out by the pool.
You sent for us, Mr. Crackerby?
Yeah, we're giving a big bang-up party a week from Saturday night, and I want this done right. I want more decorations and more lights And the pool area, I wanted it decorated. I wanted it to look like a fairyland.
Like Venice.
No, like downtown Tulsa.
Mr. Crackerby, can you tell us the nature of the party, the occasion?
I'm giving a party for Viscount Wellecliffe, and don't you look surprised.
Viscount Wellecliffe. Well, I'm certain that we can arrange something appropriate. I'll worry about the decorations, and Pierre, from you, I want something thrilling.
Something thrilling. Excuse me. Mr. Crackerby, don't you think you ought to wait until you find out if the Viscount is coming before you start all this going?
He'll come.
Perhaps saumon fumé, quiche lorrain, lobster flambé, tornado de bœuf.
This is going to be a barbecue.
Barbecue.
I'm going to feed this guy like I would if I had him back home. Chili and beans, enchiladas, and I'm flying in 3 whole steers.
Yeah, cooked a whole steer.
Well,
It's easy, Pierre. You just need a big casserole.
Get a long, long pole and build a big fire. Fill the pool with charcoal.
It's for you, Viscount Wellecliffe's secretary.
Howdy.
Lord Wellecliffe's secretary here. Is this Mr. O.K. Crackerby?
Okay, Crackerby, that's me. What's the good word?
Sir, may I ask, who are you?
Well, I thought we settled that. I'm O.K. Crackerby, Stillwater, Oklahoma, USA.
I know what USA stands for, but what is BBQ?
That's barbecue, little buddy. Wait till you see what we're gonna have. First, we're gonna roast a couple of hogs down deep in the coals where they come out so finger-licking good you can't stop asking for more. And then we'll have the best steaks that you ever wrapped your lip around. I'm flying in 3 prime steers from the ranch. And we'll have stacks of good old yellow corn just sliding in butter, and everybody gets his own personal keg of beer to wash it down with. And to top it off with, I'm personally gonna mix up the finest batch of real old-fashioned churned in the bucket ice cream you ever tasted. You know, churned in the old open bucket. Plenty of rock salt to make it good and cold. And just before I serve it, right on the top, I spread a nice, smooth film of good old Applejack. How does that sound? Terrific?
Mr. Crackerby, Viscount Wellecliffe sends his regrets, but he is unable to attend your barbecue.
You trying to tell me he's not coming?
Mr. Crackerby, Viscount Wellecliffe sends his regrets.
Oh, look, this is silly. I'll talk to the Viscount myself. Sure, why not? He's staying at Mrs. Standish Willoughby's. I'll just go over there, and she'll introduce me to the Viscount, and then I'll... Oh, boy, she's not speaking to me.
Why not?
You wouldn't be interested.
Well, yes, I would. She's not speaking to you because you're working for me.
Oh, you think that's true?
Is it?
Yes.
That's something. I hire you to get these high muckety-mucks to speak to me. Now I gotta hire somebody to get him to speak to you.
Please, Mr. Crackerby, give me a little time. I'll get to Viscount Wellecliffe somehow.
In 1 hour, I'm going to call and start Operation Judgment Day on his lordship. Do you think you can change his mind in an hour?
I'll try.
Have at it.
I'll wait until they take the charcoal out of the pool and then refill it with water, and then I'll drown myself. And so, dear lady, I turn to you in my dire need.
The whole thing sounds crazy to me, St. John. What can I do?
Well, you've got to get Mrs. Willoughby to let me see the Viscount.
She isn't speaking to you.
Susan, this is war. I've got to get to the Viscount. I feel like Paul Revere, only I have to warn the redcoats the Crackerbys are coming. By the way, you look pretty cute today.
I'm sure if Paul Revere had stopped off the neck, we'd all be singing God Save the Queen.
All right. If you won't neck, then you've got to help me with Mrs. Willoughby, okay?
Okay.
Susan, thanks. And you don't have to worry about Mrs. Willoughby. We'll face her together. I'll be right behind you.
Say, why don't you try some of this stuff with Mrs. Willoughby? She might start speaking to you again.
Hello, Susan. How very nice. You must have known that I'm not speaking to him.
Mrs. Willoughby, please, it's an emergency. St. John's very anxious to talk to Viscount Wellecliffe.
Hi, Mrs. Willoughby.
Viscount Wellecliffe is not in.
Please, I've got to speak to him. It's a matter of life and death.
I am not speaking to you.
Mrs. Willoughby, my position with Mr. Crackerby is that of a teacher. I'm tutoring his children, and I like it. I'm trying to help them become fine, decent, good, intelligent, good people, very much like you. Mrs. Willoughby, you're a very attractive woman. And I've always thought of you as a friend. My father always said to me, St. John, he said, if ever you need a friend and there's no one to turn to, there's always Amelia Willoughby.
He always called me Amy. Well, I must say you have his good looks. And some of his ways. I never could stay angry for very long with a Quincy.
Then, you'll let me speak to Viscount Wellecliffe.
Dear boy, he isn't in.
Please, my time is almost up. I've got to see him.
But he's not in.
You mean he's really not in?
Oh, I've already told you twice. Viscount Wellecliffe is not in, and I don't expect him back this afternoon.
Slam me. Start it moving. Operation Judgment Day for Viscount Wellecliffe.
Right, boss. We're ready to go.
Slam, just a suggestion. You might start out with his Canadian newspapers. You can get to them quick.
Good idea, boss. We're rolling, boss.
Have fun, Slim.
Right.
Mr. Crackerby. Viscount Wellecliffe. I took the liberty of bringing him right up.
All right, Holbrook.
I took the liberty of bringing him right up.
All right, Holbrook.
Well, I've been looking forward to this, Crackerby. I imagine I should have called first, but I thought it would be friendlier to just pop over.
Oh, this is a friendly visit, is it?
Well, I hope so.
I'll bet you do.
I beg your pardon?
Go ahead, make your little speech, but I'm warning you, it won't do you any good.
It won't do me any good for what? Look here, I simply came here to...
I know why you came here. Because St. John Quincy got to you and warned you that I was hopping mad, and you figured you best mend a few fences.
Who the devil is St. John Quincy? What have you got to be mad about, and why should I care if you are mad?
You know, I've got to hand it to you. You got a lot of spunk, even though you are kind of a little Lord Fauntleroy.
How dare you talk to me like that?
What are you going to do about it?
Why, you presumptuous, grinning gargoyle, I won't stand for this.
Then why don't you sit and take it? And while you're sitting, be thankful that I don't know what you call me, because I might lose my temper and bust your nose as well as your business.
Did you say bust?
And you don't need to squint like that, because it's not hard to understand. It's just a simple American word with no excess letters. And it means, little man, I'm going to plow you under.
You're going to what?
You heard me.
Why, you big gas bag, don't stand there with your eyes popping out like organ stops and talk to me that way.
What?
I've chewed out better men than you before breakfast and then taken on the rest of the family for supper.
I hope you're not the kind that backs down and spoils everything at the last minute.
Listen, you, I've never backed down from a fight in my life. You name the game, I'll play it. What's it going to be? Bare nooks, knees in the belly?
Well, now, we can't spoil this with too little room. Sir, will you help me with the table? Let's move it. Now, laddie buck, I'm going to teach teach you something about manners.
Manners, eh? From a lout like you.
I'll show you what it means to turn down an invitation. Come off me, Crackerby.
Come on, don't stand there blowing your whistle. Invitation to what?
Don't play games with me, little man.
I honestly don't know.
The party I was given for you that your highfalutin social secretary snubbed me on.
What?
You think that's what started all this? You bet your bottom dollar it is.
My secretary didn't turn down your invitation to try and snub you.
It's not a pretty good job of snubbing me anyway.
Listen, my secretary was told to reject all invitations to everything. I came to Palm Beach for one reason only, to see you.
To see me?
On business.
On business?
Yeah. You see, I thought we had a great deal in common. But with my enterprises in England and yours here, we might have had a very profitable alliance.
Are you sure you didn't snub me?
Of course not. Very sorry, old chap.
I knew you'd back down and spoil it all.
Just a minute, if you want to have a go, mate.
No. You know, you talk different when you forget to be a lord, don't you? I guess you weren't always one, huh?
No, not by a long sight. I was born in a little factory town where if you didn't have a black eye by the end of the day, you were either sick or a sissy.
It sounded like my own town.
By the way, I have an idea you didn't always live in a place like this either, eh?
Sure didn't. We gotta have a drink and tell some stories. Oh, excuse me a minute.
I'll fix the drinks.
I have to make a call to a friend.
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
Yeah, boss.
Hello, Slim. Me. Cancel that Operation Judgment Day.
I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. Boss, I've already completed the deal on the Canadian newspapers.
You have? Well, then cancel the rest of it.
Cancel it? All of it? Okay. Your Majesty, something has just come up. It may make it impossible for us to complete this deal as outlined.
Will your lordship,
Oh, call me Alfred.
Hey, Al, I don't know if you want to have a drink with me now.
Oh, why not?
Well, it seems that I've sort of gobbled up your Canadian newspapers.
You've what?
I own them lock, stock, and barrel.
Mr. Crackerby, for you.
This is my old friend, Lord Wellecliffe.
Excuse me, could a latecomer get out on the joke? What are we laughing at?
Tell him what we're laughing at, little buddy.
Laughing at the fact that you bought my Canadian newspapers. They're the one thing I've got that haven't made a farthing.
Cynthia?
Mr. Quincy, what would it be like if we Americans had titled nobility like the English?
Well, now, only this morning we discussed the American Revolution and why we had to have it.
Hey, Pa, if we had dukes and lords and things like that in this country, what would you be?
Oh, I don't know. A king, maybe.